Basketball may be as old as peach baskets, but the NBA is only 76 years young. During the past 7 decades plus of play, we've witnessed some pretty incredible things. From needing to have a jump ball after every basket, to 7'7" Romanian giants named Gheorghe Mureșan, to NBA mascots that bank 6 figures. For that kind of dough, it's worth stating that I'm not totally against becoming a furry. Along the way, some seriously impressive and seemingly impossible records were created. This is that list, part 2. For part 1, be sure to consult the link down in the description. Stat nerds and history buffs, this one's for you. So sit back, relax, grab your mascot head, and let's get started. Number 5. Bill Russell's 11 championships. Some will see this stupidly high number and chalk it up to old Bill playing against off-season plumbers, electricians, and guys you can find down at your local YMCA. There is some semblance of truth in this, as the era in which the man known as the Secretary of Defense played wasn't the most competitive. Consider this. From the time Bill was drafted in 1956 through to his first retirement in 1969, only 5 franchises besides the Boston Celtics made a finals appearance. But Bill still won convincingly, and damn it, that counts. But it's the reason he's number 5 on this list and not number 1. Here's another stat for you nerds. Russell won all of his championships in a 13-year span, including 8 straight between 1959 and 1966. That's crazy. To put it in perspective, it took MJ and Kareem a combined 27 years to win their 12 championships. So if you're looking for a record that likely won't ever be broken, especially given a soft salary cap, look no further than Bill Russell and his 11 championships in 13 years. Number 4. Wilt Chamberlain's quintuple double. Now I know what you're thinking, a quintuple double sounds like a made-up word. What the hell is it? This is what getting at least 10 points, rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks in a single game is called. See? Not made up. Ha! The undisputed lord and master of this tongue-twister record is the usual suspect, Wilt the Stilt Chamberlain. And it's not just that he did it once, he did it twice in the same season. That's right, Wilt Chamberlain is the only player in NBA history to have ever recorded a quintuple double. And to make it even more impressive, he did it in 1968, which was before the league even started officially recording steals and blocks. The record has withstood the test of time and is likely to continue to stand until we've all been cryogenically frozen. Sure, there are big men like Embiid, Jokic, and freak athletes such as Giannis and even KD who are capable of pulling off such a stupefying feat in today's NBA, but the defensive schemes or lack thereof being implemented today aren't conducive to it. To keep things a buck, the triple-double is pedestrian. A quadruple-double will likely get you into the Hall of Fame, but a quintuple-double will net you at least 25% as many chicks as Wilt had during his illustrious career, both on and off the court. Oh yeah. Number 3. John Stockton's all-time assists and steals records. The man, the myth, the short shorts legend, the all-time leader in assists and steals in the NBA, John Stockton racked up more than 15,000 assists and 3,000 steals during his 19 seasons, manning the machine-like Utah Jazz offense. He was so good for so long that we couldn't even tell you who the starting point guard of the Jazz was prior to Stock assuming the duties in 1985 and 86. We looked it up, and it was Ricky with an E Green. You just got your useless stat for today. You're welcome. The second closest in the record books to John is Jason Kidd with just over 12,000 assists and 2,600 steals, respectively. This makes Stockton's assist and steals records so unbreakable. They're like a fortress, guarded by 100 John Stocktons. Not only this, but he did it all while rocking one of the most iconic hairstyles in NBA history, the Stockton Flop. A classy man, and a classic record that is likely to stand. Unless Chris Paul, who is currently 3rd and 4th all-time in assists and steals, plays 10 more seasons and into his 50s. Number 2, AC Green's consecutive games played record. Remember when your grade school teacher said 50% of success is just showing up? Well, AC Green took this a bit too seriously. AC, which stands for his father's mother, Amanda, and his father's name, Chester, is the Black Cal Ripken Jr. Ripken holds Major League Baseball's Iron Man record with 2,632 consecutive games played, the longest consecutive game streak of any major sport. But here's the catch, no pun intended. Cal's record was set in baseball, a sport where you play 162 games a year. Green's record of 1,192 consecutive games was set in the NBA, where you play only 82 games a year. AC is a how I do anything is how I do everything type of guy. Don't believe me? During his high school days at Benson Polytechnic in Portland and collegiate career at Oregon State, he allegedly never missed a single class. So what's the secret to Green's longevity? He's a Christian. Everyone knows Christians are the closest things to Iron Man. According to legend, some early teammates would occasionally even send women of the night up to his hotel room to try to seduce the forward. Green was ever devout, and having sworn abstinence until marriage, didn't take the booty bait. It's this kind of iron discipline and steel resolve that will get your name in the history books for never missing a game in 14 and a half seasons. Sheesh. And then we have Rasheed Wallace, who NBA officials thought was the devil incarnate. His 41 technical fouls and 29 ejections in a single season are high watermarks for flagrancy that we are unlikely to ever see matched or eclipsed. Rasheed was born and raised in Philly, and on the playground was where he spent most of his days. Oh, to the Fresh Prince Bel-Air intro. His mama worked for the government and he had 2 brothers, so it's easy to see how he may have developed a short temper. He honed his range after being drafted 4th overall in 1995 and playing for the Washington team formerly known as the Bullets, who at the time were terrible, so some things never change. But it would be with the infamous Portland Trailblazers squad of the early 2000s that Rasheed would ascend to savagery never before or since witnessed in the association. He steadily built up his record-setting 2001-2002 season by notching 38 technicals in 1999-2000, then a record, and a big 4-0 in 2000-2001, before setting the current record of 41 the following season. That's almost a tech per game for half the season. This 3-year run of terror is as good as any other in NBA history in my book, and it ought to be immortalized with a bronze trophy bearing a bust of Sheed yelling obscenities at a ref that is then awarded to the player who has racked up the most technical fouls at the end of every season. Make it happen! Love it? Hate it? Want to send us hate mail? Do it in the comments section down below, and let us know which of these records you think are likely to live as long as the Queen before it dies.